Gleevec, also known as imatinib, is a chemotherapy drug used to treat leukemia and gastrointestinal tumors. It was discovered by Nicholas Leiden in 1993 at the Swiss pharmaceutical company Novartis. After decades of research that went into CML, each new discovery led to the creation of Gleevec.
The Philadelphia chromosome is a special chromosome that was first discovered in the 1960s. It was exclusively found in patients with CML, also known as chronic myeloid leukemia. No one knew why these patients had it back then due to technology not being good enough. But in the 1970s, it was confirmed how the chromosome was created. It involved the translocation of chromosome 9 and 22. This caused them to switch the chromosome parts, and it created a new gene called ABI-BCR. Once the Philadelphia chromosome is created, the new gene called ABI-BCR uncontrollably causes ATP to bind to the CML enzyme. The enzyme then activates the CML protein, which will then create an abnormal amount of white blood cells. The white blood cells then go on to create issues in the body, and eventually the patient will get chronic myeloid leukemia. Since ATP needs to bind in order to cause CML, Gleevec works to prevent this. Gleevec works as a selective inhibitor on the CML enzyme. When inhibited, ATP does not bind to the enzyme. This also means that the protein is not activated, and white blood cells aren't abnormally created. This causes blood levels to return to normal, and leukemia will go into remission in the patient. The first clinical trial with Gleevec proved to be very successful. The first trial, which was in 1998, showed that 95% of patients returned to normal blood levels from where they were from before, which was unprecedented at that time. Another study showed that after 60 months of therapy, over 98% of patients returned to normal blood levels. The most important stat, however, was that the 5-year survival rate went up. Originally, the survival rate for CML after 5 years was at 30%, but after Gleevec was introduced and used as a therapy, the survival rate went up to 89%.
In general, Gleevec is safe to use. However, women of childbearing potential are advised to avoid becoming pregnant, as fetal harm can occur when this drug is administered to a pregnant woman. Patients that have liver, heart, and fluid retention problems should also avoid taking this drug. Growth retardation occurring in children and pre-adolescents receiving Gleevec has also been reported. Common side effects of Gleevec include nausea, diarrhea, muscle cramps, fever, edema, hemorrhage, and skin rash.
Cost. When Gleevec first came out in 1993, the cost was around $30,000 a year. As results surfaced and got more popular, the price went up to $92,000 a year. Patients and doctors would complain, but that had no effect to bring the price down. Later in 2016, the price went up to $120,000 a year. Also in 2016, the generic drug imatinib was approved by the FDA, and the cost for the generic was set around $30,000 a year. Although there are places in the world like India where you can get the generic for around $60 a month, the price in America has not changed.